Hey everyone, we are live Arsenal Fan Circle. It's Sunday, it's the pre-game show. Butterflies in the stomach time. Gary, how are you feeling about the Arsenal Wolves game coming up?
I'm content. I'm ready to see who's going to play, and then I'll know a little bit more. I mean, I'm hoping we're able to get 3 points like everybody else that's getting 3 points that I don't want to get 3 points. So, hoping we do what we're supposed to do and we get our points as well. So
Well, let's take a moment to talk about my
either it can,
predicted.
either it's going to be a slow game, right? So
Yep.
both defenses pretty much shut down the offenses, or I'm hoping if not, then it's on us to push it and make it a lot of entertaining game and excitement for us.
Last two times we played Wolverhampton
So that's
Wanderers
what I'm
at
looking
home
forward
since
to.
they
Yep.
since they got promoted to the
Is
Premier
this me or
League.
you? Oh boy. I think I
They're a bit of a
froze.
lag.
Um,
As Molina says, "Come on, Arsenal, let's get the 3 points today." Uh, Great to see Ray and Gary on the panel today. Looking forward to the youngsters hopefully getting a breakthrough today. And Mahir maybe is joining us as well. And Darren, thanks for joining us also. Let us know what you think today, everyone watching, your predictions for the game today. But Gary, since Wolverhampton Wanderers have been promoted, we played them twice at home. Each of them have been 1-1 draws in the last two seasons.
yeah, we need to change that. We need to change that. I think
Can
we
we
have.
break that paradigm?
Yeah, I think we have. I believe we have the better of offense and talent, since we do have one of the best scorer in the league the last couple of years. So hopefully he'll be able to break out of the funk that he's in, and actually show us what we want to see, which is some scoring chances, some goals from him, and then opening the game up for ourselves on the counter. So did I
Um,
just freeze there, by the way?
Yeah,
'Cause,
you did right at the
okay,
beginning.
okay,
As
all
we're
right,
doing the intro, you were froze a little bit.
okay.
Um, last weekend we got what all the fans are talking about. Joe Willock came into the team, but he's still, and my from my point of view, he's still spattered around with Willian and some of the other ineffective players. So he really didn't see much benefit to his play. I really believe if we put Nelson into the lineup, maybe Saka as well, that he's able to play with some more tempo, and this is what we want from Arsenal right now. Is a little bit more tempo. The established senior players don't seem to have that tempo.
Yeah, I believe that's what's punishing the youngsters when they come in, is that they're ready to go, but they seem to be the only ones. I mean, we kind of sort when Partey came in, right? He was offering himself up for the ball, and they just wouldn't give him the ball. Thus, he got no passes, so thus he wasn't effective in the games that he was in to start, his Arsenal career. So I'm hoping that
Mhm.
they kind of look at that when they bring in these players and say, you know what, we're bringing them in for a reason. Let's utilize them the best way we can, because I feel like sometimes they kind of, I don't know if they're being instructed to. I have a feeling they're not, because you don't bring Willock in and then expect him not to try to make those runs and expect balls in spaces and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that, the instructions are more to the attacking positive side than the negative defensive side that we've seen, because we need to open it up a little bit more. I think we have the talent to do that. So,
Yeah, and surely the penny must be dropping with Arteta now. We've battened down the hatches, conceding less goals. We've only conceded, I think, 10 goals, but we're not scoring enough, Gary. Only
no.
nine goals in what will be our ninth game coming up here.
Yeah, and that's got to change, especially if that's with some of the moves that they made, they weren't only for defensive means, right? I mean, Willian and Aubameyang, those deals weren't so that we don't have opportunities to score and win games outright, right? I mean, those moves are on the offensive side, the positive side. Gabriel, definitely a defensive move. Partey, part defense, but I feel like he does give us more of a presence in the middle there. So I think these moves are all to move us closer and closer to the opponent's goal and away from ours, right? So that's what I want to
Yeah.
see
And
going forward.
if we can just push the play up another 10 or 15 yards, Nelson's then playing. Hopefully, Nelson's playing today. He's playing right on the edge of the box. Aubameyang's going to be involved in the 6 yard box, not the 18 yard.
Yep.
And we want Saka doing something on the right hand side. and the teams will be announced in probably about 10 minutes. So Darren has joined us. He's never wanted a win as much as he does today, Gary.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to. Yeah, it's been a while for us. I mean, we shouldn't go this number of games without a win. I mean, we got a point last time, so now we need to, take that next step, right? That next step and
Mhm.
get us a goal, and
A
a
very
goal and 3 points would be nice.
a very undeserved point last time against the Leeds. Very, very lucky to get away with a draw. And, being a man down in the cold light of day, Gary, we can probably, say we'll take that. Pepe, with his indiscretion, going a man down, 10 men for much of the second half, and we get away with the draw.
Yeah, we always want to be lucky. You want our luck to fall certain ways, and it did fall to us pretty good in the last game, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like you said, we
yeah.
should have been down 3-0 at that point. It wouldn't have been a disappointment because of the way we played. So, yeah,
We definitely
yeah.
want to improve. Well, definitely want improvement now. The league games, Gary. We've had our last 5 league games. We've only scored 1 goal, and no goals from open play. That 1 goal was solitary penalty at Old Trafford, and we saw in some ways this morning how Man United have been quite poor. I really feel Southampton had the upper hand, and they let Man United back into that game.
Yeah, I mean, and if you just look at the score, you see that as soon as they brought Cavani in, right, that kind of essentially, I guess, opened up the play, and they scored a few minutes after he came in, and he was able to put 2 in himself. I mean, I saw the stats. I didn't see much of the game because I was away, but they made a sub. I guess I don't know if Mason Greenwood was hurt or they just were going in a different direction at that point, but they made a move and it panned out. Sometimes I feel like we could have done that same maneuver where the first half didn't go the way we want. You bring in somebody to start the second half, and you get to see if that change works. We typically wait too long, and then by the time somebody does come in, it's a little too late. The flow of the game has gone away when we need to make a splash, right? So
Yeah. Where,
yeah.
where do you think Mikel Arteta is at this stage of the season now, Gary? Is he kind of paralyzed by the fear of change? You know that change is sometimes difficult to make. Bring in all of the young kids, you could get more dynamic, up the tempo, and start scoring goals.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like his primary goal is defense, right? So he's
Mhm.
instilling that, I believe, as a team. So all 11 guys know about the defense, but now they need to take all that work that they put into the defense and move it closer to the other goal, right? We do all this
Yeah,
work. We make sure we get, Leno doesn't have to make so many saves per game. That number has gone down tremendously, which is great. But he also likes to see the goalie on the other side also, get the pain that he used to feel when
that's
he had
it's
to,
work.
So I
Yeah.
think we need to put a little bit of pressure on the other goalie. Even if, I mean, in the last game, at least we put some shots on goal, right? But soon we're going to need to put a little bit something behind it, right? Like I said, I like the goalie's hands to sting when we take a shot. We kind of did that in our Europa League game, but we need to do that in our Premier League games now. And that comes down to attention to detail right in front of the goal, where we get some good looks, some good contact on the ball, and the goalies actually have to make really good stops and not just dribblers that come to them and they just pick them up. I mean, we got to make them pay. When
Yeah,
we're in front of the goal.
exactly. I think there's But to expand on that point as well, I think that Arteta is a little bit fearful of throwing kids in because famously Arsene Wenger would say you lose points with youngsters in the team, but I think it's a risk versus reward. We're sitting in 14th place, Gary. I mean, I know if we win today, we could go up to about 8th or 7th, depending on goal difference over Man United.
That's crazy, right? So we feel like we're struggling, but we still have to. We're not that far away from where we want to be, right? We want
Mhm.
top four, so we're still not that far away from it. Our our games will lighten up a little bit as far as intensity, but they still require us to be
And
ready to play, or
difficulty.
else we
Yeah.
still need to get points and see games through. So yeah, looking
Yep.
forward to yeah.
Molina said, excellent job on Friday night for Darren. I'm going for a 2-1 win to the Arsenal as well. We need to win this one. All or Nothing today. And James, thanks for joining us. Chelsea Spurs game is such a dead game. As when I left it, it was 0-0. Yeah, not a lot of things happening. Timo Werner scored pretty early on, but was chalked off through offside. And Liverpool, Liverpool complaining a little bit about VAR. I think they got the benefit a lot last season, and now they're starting to feel the sting of VAR in their tail.
I mean, I like to feel like they got a little bit of help from us today when we played them, right? Mane could have been out of the game with an elbow to the head. We've seen that happen to us, right?
Yep.
They looked at the Pepe, play just to see what happened there, and decided that he could go. But Mane, the elbows, no, not that bad. For some reason,
It's
they didn't look
overlooked.
at that. And then,
Yeah.
like since that time, I think I've seen at least 3 of their goals get turned away by VAR. So I don't know. Maybe that's just the luck doesn't happen for us, but it does turn for them. So
Yep. It cancels
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Alex from Cannon Fodder TV as well, and Philip Luther Howell is here as well, Gary. So
Yes.
thanks for joining us.
That's bad. Over there.
Darren wants to know what is the lineup. Well, the lineup will be announced very, very soon in the
Yeah,
next
they
3 or
said
4
an
minutes.
hour, and they yes, I
We're
saw on Twitter they
coming
said
up.
we're gonna. Yeah, they said in an hour they're gonna bring it up, but nothing so far.
And Philip said, I'm confident 1 point last week, 3 points this week is all we are asking for. Us poor Gooners, it's all we want is a win. Gary, the disparity between the Europa League, yeah, you can say it's a step or two down from the Premier League, but we seem to be playing 2 different teams as well, and we're getting different results.
Yeah, I mean, but I think we still want to fit within whatever the game plan is for the manager, right? So, regardless of who we're playing, we still defense is key for all of this. So, it starts there and it moves forward. So maybe we don't get a lot of chances like we did in the Europa League games, but we should get chances similarly, right? We're seeing other teams play the same teams we're playing and get opportunities. So I don't think it can't be just because it's Europa League versus Premier League that we don't get those opportunities. So I think that comes down to the game plan, the players themselves actually performing. So we do get chances to score, right? I don't think that's the issue. I think we are finishing. If we had better finishing with the limited numbers that we get, maybe we get the goals we want. So I think it's we got to be able to finish.
And Gary, the teams have been announced. Let me just quickly run through it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. The only I'm going to put this up here. Here's the team. I'm going to put it up because there's one change from the last time we did this pre-game show, and I think it was the Leeds game.
Okay.
So
Yep.
Here's the team. The team, everyone, announced live on Arsenal Fan Circle is Bernd Leno in goal, Hector Bellerin right back, Gabriel and David Luiz. Nope, not Holding. Sorry. I'm going to switch that up real quick. I jumped the gun a little bit. Gabriel and David Luiz. And Tierney is on the left wing, on the left back. Then we have Granit Xhaka, Ceballos, and Joe Willock in midfield. And surprisingly, Willian keeps his place. Aubameyang in the middle and Saka on the right. That's the way I see it. Willian is going to play. Actually, Willian may play on the right and Saka will play on the left, right?
That's what it looks like. Yep. That's what it looks like.
So once again, no place for Reiss Nelson, who's been impressing in Europa League play.
Yep, and Ainsley isn't even on the bench.
That's yeah.
Man, that's I mean, I Cedric's on the bench. I see there. Yeah, all right. Like I said, as we were talking about before we went live here, I felt like he's gonna make a move or moves. I don't actually think he made any moves. I think he just brought those that were healthy and weren't available to play in the last game. He brought them in, right? Luiz is in. Partey we didn't think was going to play, so that's not a surprise there. Willian playing again is definitely a surprise to some. Nelson looked like he deserved to get a chance. I mean, it should be. I always like to say it should be easy, right? If Willian comes out and has a first half like he's had in most of the games, it should be easy to make that change at halftime. We don't
Yeah,
seem
yeah.
to
I thought
be.
you were going to say come out and playing well.
Well, I would like that, but I haven't seen it. So maybe he'll
Haven't seen it.
surprise us, and I think we'll be happy to see it. We just haven't seen it. So Willock being out there, I think at least in still shows some. We're gonna have some young legs out there, and hopefully, I know from reading some of the write ups that having Willock play with like Ceballos and Xhaka doesn't really help him because they're not really good partnerships there as far as how he likes to play and how they do. So I think it's we could see some negative plays unless maybe if they go to that 4-2-3-1, maybe Willock will get to play in that middle there. So that also could be a way for him to get a little bit more rep, But I think, yeah, we'll see. I felt like we're seeing this. I think we're seeing seems like we're seeing the same thing over and over again every week, expecting something different to happen, not seeing it happen, and then going, maybe we'll change it next week. I don't. When is it going to be? The week that we actually see a change that makes some sense based on players' form. I mean, William hasn't been good in any of the games where you could say he deserves a spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Holding and Louise go in and out, and we know what we get from Louise, right? We know what we get from him. I mean, I don't think he can play, so play as many games as they want him to anyway. So I think that's good that they can switch off and on. But Willian doesn't provide that same kind of flux, change in the team where he can come in and out, and then he doesn't lose. If he loses form, then we know somebody else is coming in. That doesn't seem to happen. I don't. Yeah. I think we're going to be upset again. I think it'll be.
Yeah, outside of Saka, who is a creative player, outside of Saka, David Luiz will probably be our most creative player, and that is our right central defender. This is echoes of the Leicester game again. He was pinging balls across field to Tierney a lot in that game.
Yeah.
Want to give a shout out to Arsenio. He's here with us as well, and Stefan, and Celtic. They're pretty much my second team as well, Stefan. So Celtic losing today is a bad result, and Lennon is on thin ice. I thought Ole was going to be on thin ice as well, but
I did text you earlier today, going, that's an interesting game, and like anything else, like I said, like anything else, I just can't be happy for a whole 90 minutes, can I?
So. No. I did ask you again, with Southampton playing at home to Man United, who the actual favorites would be in that game. Would it have been upset if Southampton had beaten them?
But I mean, they scored the 2 goals early, and then they just went in. But I mean, they needed to do more, of course, because everybody expected a penalty to come, right? It didn't come today, but they made a change, and that change seemed to work and open up the team a little bit more. So,
speaking of managers that could be under pressure, I don't want Arsenal to get a bad result today. I really hope we're going to get that win. I'm a big believer of law of averages, and I think our averages have come around to where we should be beating Wolves at some point in time. But you put Willian in the team, you put, maybe Bellerin. I could switch him for Ainsley Maitland-Niles right now, and switch him out for Nelson or Ainsley Maitland-Niles with Bellerin, and you could actually get a better result on the day. I'm hoping that we do, though.
Yep. No, definitely. But I don't. What did he see from the last game to this one for the moves that he made? What did he see? I mean, we saw Nelson actually play better than Willock in the last game, so it wasn't that, right? It was probably Partey being out. Maybe Partey comes in the game and Willock goes out, which is what we don't want to see either, right? We kind of want to see those two together somehow in the middle there.
And we do have amongst our subs right now. We do have Nelson in the subs, Elneny, and the two forwards, Lacazette and Keita, who are not doing the job at number 9 right now.
Yeah.
One thing, Gary, I am happy with. We had to persevere with Aubameyang through the middle. I think we've made that change at Leeds, and we have to persevere with that and make it work.
Yep. No, definitely. I mean, he needed to. Well, he needs to be where most of the shots are going to come from, because based on the way we've been playing, anybody who's been in the middle has been getting some of those crosses, has had opportunity to score. So if we continue to play the way we have, he should be able to get some more, hopefully some more attempts at the goal, and he's got to put them away. There's no excuse. He's been, deprived of scoring opportunities. He needs to, when they come, he needs to take them regardless of where they come from.
Yeah.
So,
A little worried about Wolverhampton Wanderers. I actually would have liked Ainsley Maitland-Niles to be in the lineup as well, Gary, just to shine it on them a little bit, because they wanted Ainsley Maitland-Niles in their lineup in the summer window. That's just the kind of bitter man that I am.
No. Well, you know what? Okay. Maybe I'm gonna. This is what I probably think is the minds. Well, no, and he's not even. He can't even play today, so I don't know. I thought he would be at least on the bench
Cedric
because
is in there. Can you believe that?
Cedric is not going to come in there and shut down Traore if he's having if he starts running at Tierney.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get that move. So hopefully by not putting Ainsley in there, we're going to be more offensive, which means we're attack minded more than we are. Let's pretty much stop them from getting anything out, against us, because that's the only thing that makes any sense, right? Based on, you look at our bench, right? Nenny will come in there, but I think he works better with Partey, and is going to be
Yeah.
I don't think he can support the way he can. Cedric is he defensively minded for us? I don't know. I don't feel like when he's in there, I feel like
I think he's about equal to a Hector. He's about the same defensively, I would say.
That doesn't change anything. So it's just a rusted up Hector. At the end of the game, we bring him in.
And we've seen this midfield against Leeds. Granit Xhaka, Ceballos, and Willock. Mm-hmm. They hardly pass the ball to each other in the Leeds game.
Yeah. What do they work on during these time away from the games, right? I mean, did they not look at and go? I mean, we looked at the way the formations are, and it's a big donut. Nothing in the middle. We don't even want to go there, and we can't go up and down the lines. So we go back and forth because we don't even attempt to cut in the middle, and that's where the most danger you can get is up the middle, right? You come in through the middle, you break down their defense. I don't know. It's the same in every sport. That middle of the field has to be attacked if you're gonna want to make a point. Want to put some pressure on the other team. So we gotta, hopefully they see Saka on his runs, right? I mean, we know Luis can make those long passes, and maybe Aubameyang also can, get on the end of one of these. But we need those things today.
I hate to preview the game like this, Gary, but I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I don't see us separating from Wolves a lot. They're not the team that they were last year, and we were saying that about Sheffield United. Of course, they're not the team that they were last year, but Wolves made great strides last year. And I don't think that they're the team that they were last year. They've sold a few players. They have replaced them, but not brilliantly. But it's going to be a very close game, and Arteta is sort of hanging his hat on Willian. I'm a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I don't get it.
As the assemble has said here, Willian again. Tut 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 for me.
Yeah. I don't. What is he? I think when we asked the question, when the questions are asked, about the lineup and stuff like that, he seems to be happy with it. But what did he see? What did he see in the last game? Right? Even when Pepe was out there, what did he see? Just to say, what, this is still working. I mean, he's moved Aubameyang around. Williams still, typically sitting on one right-hand side. Also, I guess maybe we'll get Hector will show us something on the offensive side, because I don't think the defense is going to be there for his defense isn't what we kind of will lean on. Well, hopefully his attack moving forward, will push that ball up and Willian be able to get some crosses in um, if he's out there on that right hand side, right? And how would you see that formation for the midfield three that we have there? If they go with
Yeah,
the three,
so I'm gonna say Granit Xhaka and Ceballos will sort of sit defensively and free Willock up to play. Willock, Bellerin, and Saka are the three dangerous players for me that could create some mayhem on the right hand side as it looks now because Saka will be on the left hand side. Bellerin will make those inside runs into the inside right channel, much like against Man United when he won the penalty. Combined with Willock, Willock is the only player for me who can create chaos as a player running into the penalty box unaccounted for. And Aubameyang, we're really hoping that Aubameyang can get going in this game again. 2 goals all season for Pierre.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds about right for what I was thinking. I was just looking at Brownie's point here, as far as maybe it's in his contract that he has to play, but also, you know, our famous number 10 has a contract with certain deals in it that the team isn't willing to pay. You know, just
Yeah.
you don't have to pay the players if they're not ready to play. That's not what that means. It's not why you put that in there. Willian's supposed to make it easy for you to want to play him over and over and over again. He's not
And he's
doing
not
that,
making. No.
right?
Here's a
Usually
great
that's
Here's
yeah,
a great point from the assembled. When he gets himself sacked, take Willian with him. He's playing the odds, and every 10 games, Willian must have one good game.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
dangerous policy. I don't see Willian's play as being effective enough to be able to create something
Yeah.
different to what Nelson could.
I
You
mean,
know,
I feel like they're going, playing him as much as they do. He may not be able to last the season anyways. I never thought he would. I never thought that we would have to lean on him as much as we do. I mean, he's played how many games has he not played? I guess is the big question, right?
Mhm.
He's only, I don't think his body can hold up. So why does, that's that's why he looked so good in the first game and pretty much died the next 9 that he played, right? So I do believe he needs the rest, just like most, players his age towards the end of their careers. You can't, you saw Cavani come in today and play. I doubt they will play him the next 5 games because of the goals he scored, just because they know better, right? That's what I believe.
Mhm.
Um,
As Arsenio said, we should play Smith Rowe Ronaldo. He's not even on the subs bench,
yeah,
Arsenio. So, unfortunately, our Tata deems him to be too junior, have not developed enough within the Europa League. He's been stymied by injuries. And London Old School, always great to see you back. You've been with me from the start. Must win game today. Willian needs to raise his game. He's definitely put his neck on the line, as we said here. Take Willian, Kolasinac, Socrates, and the rest of the Deadwood at the club with him. Um, Stefan didn't think a lot about Willian at Chelsea either, and he's kind of blocking the path to these young players at this point in time, Gary.
yep. No,
Um,
yeah. And there's probably no reason, right? There's no reason for that. I mean,
no, no,
no, I
let them
mean,
play.
yeah, yeah. They're not. They're showing us what they. I mean, even when William played in the Europa League, I don't think he showed us anything there that led us to believe that what, when he plays tougher talent, it's going to be he's going to be all the better for it. But no. So yeah, I think we'll see what happens. I want to be surprised,
Yep.
but we should not be upset if it doesn't work
And I
out.
want I want to say, Gary, you're going to go and do a watch along with Ryan at Mr. Arsenal. So go check that out with Gary. He's going to be on there with Sam, Ryan, and a few other people as well in about 15 minutes. And then after that, after you're with Gary on the watch along, come back to Arsenal Fan Circle. Follow Gary all day long. You've been with him for the pre-game. Watch him for the watch along over on Ryan's channel. So congratulations, Ryan, as well. He's hit 1,000 subscribers recently. I just want to mention that again. And we're on the road there as well. So if you're new around here, you're watching this for the first time, Arsenal Fan Circle. there's about 7 of us. We all come together, do podcasts, and join us around 4 o'clock Eastern here in the US, 9 p.m. over in the UK, and we will do the post game as well, Gary.
Yep.
Let's
Yeah,
take this question for. Sorry, Gary, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
Take this question from Melina. Will you be happy with a draw today if we show improvements on the pitch from the last game?
I'm going to say no, because that's not. These are the games we're supposed to win. So we shouldn't be coming into this game expecting a draw. The Leeds game, maybe based on form, but we were able to at least get a point out of that. So we need to take the next step. So no draws today.
And
a draw would
follow Gary. Follow Gary wherever he goes, including when he gets his gas.
Yeah, I know where the good prices are.
For Willock to play, who's going to provide the passes for him? He continually picks players that counter react the attacking option. Great point to assemble. And I actually felt sorry for him because of Pepe getting sent off. Right, Gary? There's always one player that has to be sacrificed.
Yeah, and that's part of another reason why we're a little upset with Pepe because of that, because he finally had the opportunity to play with someone that he could help him out, all right, provide a little bit of space for him, and then we didn't get to see that as much as we would like. I think a lot of times even if this change didn't work in the last game, it's one of those things that it needs to take time because we are continually changing our teams, and we need to see these players play back-to-back games to see if the things are going to work. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well it's going to play, but I like to feel like we always get opportunities regardless of what we put in the midfield. So hopefully one of those will look a lot nicer and cleaner when we do make that change, right? So that's what I'm hoping happens.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's hope what happened last week doesn't happen. Willock's trying to play a pass forward, and William's actually behind him. And William, you're supposed to be ahead. And any new viewers that just popped in, this is the lineup right here for today.
Yeah, there should be none of those front 3 or 4 players, depending how we line up, going backwards too much. I mean, they should be looking to move the ball. They need to be forward. I mean, we're not going to see hopefully we don't see a Aubameyang come back too far. I think that was one of the problems we had in the last game, is that even before we went down to 10 men, he still was coming back a little bit too much. And we need him up front to keep that spacing great, so that we can, when we make the attack, have somewhere to go with the ball. I think a lot of times we're so far back that the defense really doesn't even have to move because we're stuck and we have to turn around and go back the other way. So yeah, I mean, I looked at some of the games from the Wolves' past games, and
yes, I was just about to get there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I think we can get something out of this game. We think we have the offensive players to do that.
They lost their last game, right? They lost their last game to Palace, was it?
Yeah. So I think they will give us the space that we need if we just attack. I think we need to kind of put our heads down and just say, you know what? I know you don't want us to do this, but we're going to do it anyways, and make the attack. Get Aubameyang, Saka, give the ball into Willock somehow. I think that's going to help us. William needs to just have. Yeah.
Even at the end of Arsene Wenger's career, you could see the team showing up. If they put in the tempo and played, you could tell in the first 10 minutes if we were going to play well. I'm hoping to get back to that point with Arsenal. We're all trying to discover Arsenal again, try to understand what we're doing and what Arteta's doing. We kind of understand he's making us more defensively sound and making us able to compete against the top teams. But these are the kind of games that it's the next step. We've been talking about this on our podcast for the last month, probably, Gary. It's the next step in the stage of the rebuild for Arteta. They needs to open up the page a little bit, open up the playbook a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, just look at the Villa game, right? They came out and within a minute got a shot to the back in our net.
Yeah.
We can do that. We have the players to do that. Saka can make a run. Aubameyang can make that run. Willock could open up things for us. We should be able to, basically slap them in the face and go. This is not going to be that kind of game that they want to play, which is a drug out fest where we're just going to take body blows until somebody falls down. We need to be able to surprise them with. I think we can do that. I believe we have the players to do that.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at their lineup. I mean, I don't, who does anybody scare us that much on the offensive side? I think
Just Jimenez. Jimenez scares me a little
Mhm.
bit, but I think we have Gabriel and David Luiz who can take care of that.
I don't even
Those
think he's
issues.
playing today, though.
Center forward, Raul.
Oh, Raul, sorry.
and
Yes, okay.
The assemble said, "Can you see any fluidity on this side?" We don't see it yet. We do not see the fluidity. I see it in the Europa leagues, but you're trying to gauge a couple of levels down because you're playing, in a smaller competition. It's not Champions League, it's not Premier League standard, but you're seeing it in the young players. I would like to translate that to the Premier League. And we're going to be here for a few more minutes because I want to let Gary go in time. He's going to go over to Mr. Arsenal podcast and do a watch along. Gary's pulling full duty today.
Yeah.
And Stefan, I thought you knew that I'm in the US now. Explains the late starts. Sorry about that. On Thursday nights, they just are late for a few reasons. I'm originally from Ireland. You probably should have heard my American accent now. I picked up since I've been here 17 years now. The accents, but And Gary, you're originally from the UK as well.
Yeah. I'm a Londoner, born in Hammersmith Hospital, so Acton born, raised till around 9 years old. So my accent is gone. I'm sorry, I lied. Yeah, that's probably the one thing I didn't want to lose, but I did lose that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad's still there, so yeah.
We'll leave it there. All we can do with this lineup, right? And we're more in the hope category here. I see a tight game today. If Nelson was in the team, and at least Nelson, I'd be a little bit more hopeful.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the. Well, hopefully, the one thing that he did instill in them is the basically the defensive game plan that we've known to at least understand and go with. But I believe since both teams are looking to do the exact same thing, I feel like we're the one team I would like to think with Aubameyang there that we can hopefully get the better of the better chances. We should be able to do that, I believe, right?
We need to take over Fortress Emirates, right, Gary?
Yes, I mean I'm wary of Traore being out there going against Tyranny for a whole game. So yeah, so that part, so that's where our offense has to kind of release some of the pressure on our defense, because if not, we're sitting back there. I think we can, we're going to put ourselves, it's going to be one of those games where Leno is, has to be at his best, right, as far as stopping shots that come in at him. But I think we should be able to combat that with some offense that kind of opens some things up for us and relieves the pressure on the back.
Mm-hmm. All right. Listen, we'll get out here in a minute. Just a couple of announcements. Andrew, thanks for joining us from Dial Square. He's going to be on the watch along as well. So follow Gary today. He's been with me for pre-game show, the warm-up. I'm going to go watch the game and take lots of notes. Come back around 4:00.
Yeah.
Approximately 2 hours and 20 minutes from now. Come back to Arsenal Fan Circle. Gary will be here. Maya here will be here, and a couple of other guests. And follow Gary right now. He's going to go over to Mr. Arsenal podcast.
All right. See you guys in a little bit. If not, later today. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, see you, Gary. We are a little bit hopeful just for a result today, and we'll see what happens. It's up to Arsenal now. It's up to the tempo of the players. Join us in a couple hours. Thanks for watching. If you just joined, Charlie, join us in a couple hours. This is the team below. Truthfully, I'm a little bit worried that it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be tough with Willian picked again. No room for Nelson. He's on the subs bench. And I would have actually liked Ainsley Maitland-Niles as well and stuff instead of Bellerin. So you have been watching the Arsenal Fan Circle. We'll see you in a couple hours. And come on, you Gooners. We got to get the win today. Thanks for watching. Slap a like on the video and subscribe if you're new around here. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.